Hi, Flosstube friends. It's Heather Miller here, known as the Mirror Image Stitcher here on YouTube and also on Instagram. I want to welcome everyone, new visitors, those returning. Welcome to my channel. It's a channel all about cross stitch. It's a very informal channel and very just laid back sort of presentation. Today is May 20th, 2025, and I have some finishes to show you. I'm pretty excited about that. Now, one thing I just wanted to mention off the bat with some of my earlier videos. When I first started this channel, I had really extraordinary visions of adding music and all kinds of things and doing lots of like fancy editing and all that. And as we all get going, one video is a bit like that, then the next one's a little less, and so on and so on. And I did buy a subscription to copyrighted music, and then have decided to let that go, not to renew it. Now, I had thought that that meant that if I wasn't carrying the copyright, that I had to take out that music. So through YouTube Studio, I went into a couple of the videos to try to edit them and get the music out. And as try as I might, I ended up editing and putting music over top of the beginning part of my wording. And there's just nothing I can do about it. So that's the way it is. And I'm really sorry about that. I had thought about just deleting the episode altogether, but I figure some of that with a little bit of mouthing at the beginning is just going to have to do. So that's why some of those videos are like that in my earlier videos. All right, I want to get into the stitching. Okay, I have, to start off with, I got notes down here that I'm looking at, and my stuff is kind of piled around me, so I want to show you my finished pillows. This is my January and onward stitching. I finished these earlier in the year. So they are from Sweet Violet Stitch Co. on Etsy. And she had... She had 5 houses. She had planned to do one every month. And then she had been on maternity leave, had a baby, and really kind of hasn't been back. But that's the way life goes with a young baby. So the first one is Carrot House. And this is what the back looks like. I used Vonna Pfeiffer somewhat tutorial. Some of these I didn't have enough fabric on the back to do split back like what she does. And so I just created a little hole here, stuffed it all up, and then covered it up with a little bit of wool. I've added buttons, some of them, and left out, like that one I left out clouds. Like some of them are a little bit personalized. This one is called Tulip House. And I think this one is almost exactly other than the buttons. This one I did a bit different. I used a bit of ribbon here and put some buttons across to cover where I stuffed. The next one is Strawberry House. This one I also personalized a bit in that I put a little jam jar there. she'd started out, I really liked her gigantic things on the side along with the houses. I loved the houses. I liked the little round window in the middle. I liked she always put something at the top. And so some of this I did improvise a little bit. And then that's the back. And number 4 is for July, sunflower. And I don't think she had a sunflower there. I can't remember what the original pattern was, but again, I think it was a big bee skip, I think, or something. So I just moved a few things around. And then this is what the back looks like. It goes more like that. There you go. Okay. The first one actually is called Leprechaun House, and I have finished stitching it. I haven't fully finished it. Again, I wasn't a fan of the rainbows or whatnot, but I did use a number of elements and from her original pattern. I did add the daffodil. I bought a little pattern off of Etsy. And my birthday is in March, and so I found a free little cake to put up on top of the house. So I look forward to getting that one done up and into a pillow. Okay. The next is a couple of needle books that I have done. Sorry, I have to just move my paper here. Those houses, by the way, are 75 by 75 stitch count. And they're all just from leftover pieces of fabric that I had in my stash. If it was about the right size, then that's what I used. These next ones I have shown in previous videos. In 2022, Panochka, she is a Russian stitcher, and she came out with some birds. And so I've been trying to start doing some of the birds and get them done up into something. So this is the first one. It's Pygmy Owl. And it's, as you'll see, each one gets a little bit better. The bird gets a little bit more centered. This is a little label that I got off of Etsy from a gal out of Calgary. And I just emailed her and messaged her to tell her what I wanted. And she was more than happy to print these and send them out to me. So I thought that was really cute. And this is what the back looks like. And then I've just got a bit of batting, some silk batting I used for the inside. That is number 1. And I've gotten one more done. And this is called Waxwing. This is the back. And again, very similar, just a bit of silk batting in the middle, that some leftover stuff from what I've made. Now this is, I've done a third bird where I've stitched it, but I haven't actually turned it into anything yet. And I don't even remember the name of this bird, but that's what I've done. Okay, that's great. Most of these are not in any kind of chronological order. They're just I'm just putting them out and just kind of did it as I could pile them up. And so that's how I'm showing them. So they're finishes mixed in with works in progress and so on. All right. Now, the next thing I wanted to show you is I participated in Canada Swaps. What's the word? It was organized by Karen at the Stitching Owl. That's her YouTube channel, and she's out in Ontario. And I really had a lot of fun. I had participated in the first one, and then this was the second one. And I wanted to show you what was given to me. So first she sent this sweet little card. And it had a little bit about her and so on in the inside. She sent along a little pattern, which would be very cute to stitch. And then she sent this, I would say it's like a little thread bed type of thing, but it was super cute. I'm gonna bring it up. So these are like little French knots. There's some thread over top. Like it's really 3D. Like you can see the thread on the green and on the blue. It is so sweet. And so what she's done is this is a little bit of kind of a leathery type faux leather material on the back. And she's created these, like put in little snaps. So the way it came to me was flat. And that way it made it easier to put it in the mail and easy to snap together. And I was absolutely thrilled with this little gift, this exchange. So yeah. So that was super cute. I was very happy to receive that. Okay. Alrighty. Now, I have been working on the Joyful World SAL. It is a SAL that came out in 2016, I believe, by the Snowflower Diaries. It is a free SAL, and I can't believe like the quality of these patterns are unbelievable and that they were free. So I have been very painfully slowly working on these. So I'm going to show you. So I have done January. And most of them I've added a button. And I have done the outside, I am doing the outside border. You can do these as one whole piece. And there is a free border that goes all the way around, I believe. But I just decided I'm going to just do that part and do them individually. I've done February. Now, I will say that these are, I believe they're 99 by 74. And I had some threads from 20 plus years ago, some over-dyed threads of the Gentle Arts and some Weeks dye works. And so I've just been picking from my stash and using whatever it is that I had. This was quite slow because it is on 32 count Ren by Pictureless Plus. And I was really having a hard time. I normally stitch in hand, but was kind of having a hard time with seeing the threads and so on. So I kind of, each one I've tried like going into a hoop finish, and then you'll see I finally put it on a scroll. Oh, that's backwards. Put it on a scroll rod, and that has made all the difference and really increased my speed on getting them done. This is March. And then, well, we were on our winter vacation in Las Vegas. I got April done. And putting it on the scroll rods has really helped a lot. So I have some buttons to add to this one. And I need to get moving on to the next ones, to May. Down there. Yeah, I want to get going on the next few birds. I want to get June going. It's really all about picking. If I have to kit something up, that slows me down because I avoid that. Once I can get it going, no problem. But that kitting up is kind of not my favorite part of the process of cross stitching, for sure. Okay, my next one is, I'm going to show, even though it's finished stitching, I'll show you the original pattern. It is Helen, Catherine, and Mama's Goose. It's from 1986, and it's by Barbara Burgeot Richards. When I was doing it, I have moved this over, and then I just made up this bush here because I wanted to get the piece done. Let me put it on here. See if I can. I've changed the color of the little girl's dress. This is my finish. I've changed the color of the little girl's dress. And like, as you can see, I've moved the duck over, or the goose over, and then I just made this up. Now, I was given from a YouTube channel some beads. And I don't mind doing French knots. I generally actually do a colonial knot. But in this case, I just had these beads and I wanted to use them. And so if I can get close enough so you can see them, there are the beads. I can see I have a bit of a shadow there. Yeah, I'm very happy to have this done. I had done some couching. I had watched a channel that did couching instead of backstitching, and I tried it and it did not work out well for me. And that kind of also what put me off, because I couldn't frog it. I kept snagging other stitches, and I just was unhappy. And then I decided I'm just going to bite the bullet, get it finished. I'm not sure if I'm going to frame it or turn it into a project bag, but that's for another day. Okay. All right. And that one was the original count was 150 by 92. Okay, the next one is a piece I had bought in a D-stash. I had bought some of these, like from the 80s, these table linens. It's a hand towel and it's got a bit of lace on either side. And I'm like, I could stitch something on that. So I tea-dyed it to model it up a bit and change, because it was white, just to sort of modernize it a little bit, I guess, which makes it looks a little bit country, but it's more the fashion today. And then I had found in the Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine Teresa's Primitive Treasures. I don't remember the date. I would have to check. But in that year, she came out with four different patterns that year. And so I decided to put one on each, in each part of this. It's a little bit big, so I'm going to bring it over. So the first one I had done was the house, and I'm sure I've showed that before. And the second one is this little snowman guy. So this was summer, this was winter, and the one I just finished in February, is this one. It's called Flowers and Pumpkins. I didn't put the words on it because what I'm going to do is, her spring one was Faith, Hope, and Love. Sorry, a bit awkward. So that's what I'm going to put on the top of these. Faith, Hope, and Love, and on top of each one. And then she's got a number of other, like, I think she has a design in almost every issue comes out of that magazine. And so I thought I would pick like alphabet to go across the top. Now, I'm not sure if you can see this red thread here. I use that to baste along. So I have counted out so many threads down, and I'm basting that so that it goes across straight. It is a plastic thread that you can stitch over. You can't pierce it, so it just slides right out when you're all done. And that's kind of how I did it on the bottom so that it was even. And I did bring it out. I think I've shown this before. And then I just keep them, and if I need them again, then you can just reuse them. But a lot of people buy this to grid their own fabric for full coverage. That's kind of, I think, its beginning purpose, and maybe others before that. But this is what I use because I buy pre-gridded fabric for my full coverage ones. And it's just a thin plastic thread. A little bit thicker, like it's not as thin as thread, but anyway, it's easy to see, and I find it super handy to use. All right. Okay. What is that? All right. So I had seen advertised at the beginning of January, well, the end of December, about a sale by Autumn Lane Stitchery. And I do like winter. I would say probably winter is my favorite season, or fall. And I like snowmen. I like collecting snowmen, or doing snowman themed cross stitch, that kind of stuff. And when this came out, they had a little sneak peek, and it was kind of like a cabin in the woods. And I'm like, oh, this is totally up my alley. I want to do this. I have a sister that also cross stitches, and she is amazing at sales. Like, she takes them dead serious. Like, she's going to go to jail if she does not get the sale done on time. Each part, honestly, she is religious about it. And so I said, hey, I kind of got her on board, and we decided to do it. She's completely finished it, and I haven't even finished the first part yet, because let me put this here. I just envisioned it being on a darker fabric, like a nighttime situation, and I just couldn't get that out of my head. So I found this wonderful fabric. It is a Pictureless Plus, I believe, and I believe it's a 28 count, but it doesn't matter. I was having a heck of a time seeing the fabric threads. I tried all the tricks. I tried everything. This stuff up here was the worst. This part right here. I can't even tell you how long it took me to do it, that white snow roof, like painstaking, like hours and hours. And so that's what I put it down, was because these dark fabrics are so difficult for me. I did try it on a hoop to do that other section, didn't make a difference. So when we were down in Las Vegas, I went to Stitcher's Paradise, and I was able to get this fabric. It's also, I believe, a Pictureless Plus, but much, much lighter. But my heart is still a bit here, so I do have one more set of scroll rods that I might put it on, and I might try it one more time before I abandon this dark fabric and do this. So right now it's just in timeout. It's in the naughty corner, and that's where it's going to stay for a while. So let me put this down here. Yeah. Okay. That Autumn Lane Stitchery, it's 95 by 150. Okay. My next project is a whip, and it is my leap year sal that I started it on the 29th of February of last year, and I've shown this before. It is Susanna Walker by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I've done more of the wording. I've brought this border down, and then I've started on, there's a gigantic house here, and I've started on that. This is on 36 count country mocha, and it's crazy. I can stitch this in hand because it's a lighter fabric, even though it's 36 count, and it's so easy to see the threads. I am doing them, I'm only using one thread, and they're all, no, they're not. There's a couple Cosmo, but basically they're all DMC floss. What did I want to tell you? Okay, this is 187 by 241. And I was just going to show you that what I did was, I'm actually stitching it on Pattern Keeper, but what I've done is I printed it all out. I sort of drew a grid on it, on the paper pattern, and I'm doing it one section a month to get it done in 4 years. Now, my satisfaction of this is, I just wanted to show you, as I finish parts, I rip off those parts, and it's so satisfying to rip off those parts and be done. So this is the top half. This is the bottom half of the pattern, and I just love doing that. It's like checking something off a list. It's very satisfying and motivating to do that. So, all right. That. Okay. Now, these next two require a short little story. So back in December, on one of the Canada D-Stash sites, I had asked for a pattern, and I can't remember what it came up, but it sort of was grayed out, and it didn't actually post, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And I checked back a few days later. I thought, oh, well, maybe admin has to approve it or whatever. So I left it for a couple days, and then I checked back, and I did that a few times. And then I just completely forgot about it. And then I want to say, pardon me, the end of January, I just had the person who is selling that pattern message me and said, oh, I just got your message now about that. And long story short, I found out that in Facebook, in my groups, that the AI algorithm had flagged me as a spammer or scammer, and I could not post any comments to other people's posts. I could post a picture and I could say something about it, but if anybody commented on my post, I couldn't answer back. I couldn't answer anything on somebody else's post. And I had a gal in my Alberta cross-stitching group help me. She had discovered, well, the D-Statch group helped me discover, this gal helped me discover that this is what was happening, that I had been flagged as a scammer. So I went to an admin person on my Alberta cross-stitching group and asked her if she would help me try to influence the algorithm to change it. So things that will flag you if you do these things. It doesn't always, but it can. So my husband has an archery store, and I would share a lot from that archery store. I would go through Facebook and I would like people's posts, but I didn't comment a lot on people's posts. When people finished a cross stitch or they'd had a baby or, something exciting, I used the word congratulations a lot. That is a trigger word that I did not realize could, be a part of this. Another thing that I was doing was I always wish somebody a happy birthday in the same word. Like I used actually the exact same phrase every time to wish somebody a happy birthday. And that's another thing that could trigger this. So so it's important to try to change up your wording of stuff because that will trigger something. And a couple others that using too many emojis, but more so using the exclamation point too much will get this to happen, or using capital letters, like entire words in capital letters. So that's some of those things I was doing quite innocently, but it'll flag you. So one of the admin on my cross stitch group very kindly agreed to go every day or every couple days and approve all of my posts. Now, she would never get a notification because it's considered spam and it's just like being thrown into I would post a comment and it would just go into the spam file. Like she'd never know it was there. She literally had to go to my profile and see what I've posted and approve every one of these. And this very nice lady did this. I had to go on every day. I had to say something meaningful, like not just the same thing, but really say something thoughtful about each post, which I guess is what we really should be doing. But, it was a lot because I don't always go on Facebook every day. But for like 7 weeks, I had to do this. And, that's a lot. Like, I'm not sure how many people we have in this group, but say you're in a group with 6,000 or 7,000 people, like all it takes is like 50 people to have this problem. And I know there's other people that have this problem. This D-Stash lady helped say that it was coming up on Reddit, that a lot of this was a common problem. So can you imagine if you were admin of a group and you let even 50 people out of like, say, a group of like 6,000 or 7,000 people, to go to 50 people's profiles and go. Like, that's a lot to ask somebody. So this lady was very kind to spend her time to go in and approve. And it took about 7 weeks. And all of a sudden, about the third week in March, my posts just started posting all by themselves. And it just overnight, it just changed from like, yeah, one post to the next. All of a sudden, it didn't need to be approved. Boom, it just posted. So that was, something to really think about. Now, that's why I got into some of these other ones, so that I could do some posting on some of them. So the next one I want to show you is Saga. It's by Long Dog Samplers. It's $3.89 by $5.04. And I am using some Cosmo floss. They come like this on a spool. They're actually they come in 2 threads. And at first I started using the 2 threads, just like as I was taking off, but they kept unraveling. They're sort of twisted together, but they would unravel very easily. So then I immediately said, okay, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to use 1 thread. So that's what I'm doing for the most part. Different little motifs and stuff, I am using 2 threads. These are some of the other colors that I am using. So I'm using all kinds of shades of kind of limeish greens, from dark to light. Some of them are DMC, some of them are Cosmo. Those are my threads. And this is what I've got done so far. Like some of these motifs in here, like the chickens, are done in 2 threads. Some of the stuff in the middle, but all the outside arches are going to be just 1 thread. I was fortunate enough when I came back in 2020. I was fortunate enough to get the Long Dog Sampler Pandemic for free when Jules was offering that. And so I decided I was going to start that. I have always wanted to do it in red threads. It is $3.65 by $4.29. And the first thread I chose was this silky thread. It comes on a spool. It's a 12 weight. And I'm again doing it just using 1 thread. But some of the motifs on the inside are going to be 2 threads. I kind of like a bit of that 3D effect, or just changing the texture of something from 1 thread to 2 threads. These are the other threads that I'm going to use in this. I gotta braid these. So this one is DMC 304. This is DMC 150. I guess I could try to put them up here so there you could see. 1 second here. Maybe if I do that, it might. This might be taking it. And then Cosmo 4300. So those are the threads besides that I'm using. I'm doing it on 36 count, the Weeks Dye Works corn silk. And again, because it's light, I have no problem seeing the threads, even though it's a 36 count. And I started this in February. And not a lot, but this is where I've started. And I just have this red thread up here just to remind me what's the top. So not a lot to see there, but you can't make progress if you don't start them. So that's the main thing. Right. The last one I have to show you is a very, very old stitch that I did 25 plus, I don't even know, years ago. The pattern is dated March of 2000. So at least 25 years ago. It is called Name Above Every Name, and it is in my favorite old magazine, For the Love of Cross Stitch, this magazine. And this is the pattern. And I stitched it in, I would have no idea what colors they are, what thread. I'm assuming DMC with some kind of variegated thread. So this is what I did. And I was just going to show you because this is how I'm going to finish it. I'm going to try to finish it in like a cross type wall hanging. So I am hoping to do a quilt tube after this one, and I'll explain a bit more because not everybody's interested in quilting, but I just wanted to show you that was how I was finishing this cross stitch. All right, that's everything that I have for today. Like I said, I think my next one is going to be a quilt tube, and I might not be back for about a month or maybe even a couple months. I'm a slow stitcher, and it takes a while for me to have any projects of significant progress to show you. Meanwhile, I really enjoy watching everyone else's Flosstube. I enjoy catching up with people and seeing old favorite projects of theirs moving along. And so I encourage you to do the same in between some of your favorite YouTube Flosstubers, is to then, enjoy yourself doing that. So thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your time. And as always, when my family or people leave my house, see you, love you, bye.